I'm so honored to have Amy Edmondson from Harvard Business School here with me. I just watched her talk and was amazing. And I have this honor, and she's here to talk a little bit about psychological safety. Hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Yes. So we have this thing here. I think it's going to be like a bar, sitting here. I love it.
Lean in.
Yeah, lean in, and it's so easy to lean in. I was just telling her that psychological safety with you, it's so easy because of who you are. But you can maybe explain a little bit to our viewers at Inside Conferences, what is psychological safety?
Psychological safety is a belief that one can bring one's full self to work. It is the confidence that you can speak up at work without fear of reprisal.
Yes, and our voice are so important to be heard. How does it look like, psychological safety?
It often looks very energizing because when a team has psychological safety, it has people speaking up, offering ideas, asking questions, giving feedback. Right? There's a lot of energy, a lot of focus on the work because they're not focused on, ooh, how do I look? How am I doing? What do people think of me? They're focused on the work. They're engaged.
Yeah, and this can bring. I start, thinking about trust and psychological safety. What is the correlation between these two? Can you expand on that, please?
So trust and psychological safety are very highly related, very highly correlated. Trust is defined as the perception that someone else won't let me down, or that they will be either capable or willing to do something they said they would do. Psychological safety is a little bit more self-focused, right? Psychological safety describes an experience where I believe that you will not respond negatively to me when I speak up with a question, with a concern, with an idea, with a mistake. So psychological safety is more focused on my experience, my fear, an absence of fear. Trust is focused on my belief about what you might do and not do. So trust is a bit more cognitive. Psychological safety is a bit more emotional. It's about fear. It's about the absence of fear.
And when we have an environment inside a corporation or organization that that we can have it's foment. Do you have this word in English?
Yes.
Foment trust. When you foment trust, do you think that it's easier for the psychological safety, to merge? Thank you.
Absolutely. So trust is a very important input to psychological safety. If we have higher levels of trust in this team, we're more likely to have high levels of psychological safety. So it's a really helpful factor in creating psychological safety. But I want to be clear, we don't want psychological safety for its own sake, right? We want psychological safety because it's how you do innovative work. It's how you pursue excellence in knowledge work. Because if people don't feel able to say what's in their heads, you might be missing really important ideas or concerns. And so, psychological safety isn't necessarily an end in its own right. It's a means to an end, which is innovation, high performance, high engagement in the workplace.
I love that. It's like a prerequisite to some important issues and important, accomplishments. And can you please tell me how to build psychological safety?
Well, for a lot more, I just have a recent book just came out called The Fearless Organization. And all of Chapter 7 is about how do you build psychological safety. And the framework is 3 things: set the stage, invite engagement, and respond productively. So setting the stage is about building the rationale for why people need to speak up and making sure people really understand what we're up against. And inviting engagement is sort of the skill and the art of asking good questions, of creating forums where people know that their voice is welcome. And responding productively is welcoming and appreciating voice and giving people positive feedback for the courage that it sometimes takes to bring a difficult issue forward.
Yes, we all have to buy your book. Please tell us. We can buy it in Brazil also. It's still just in English, but we can buy.
Yeah, it's so far being translated into Korean, Japanese, German, Dutch, and Russian. But I hope Portuguese will be next.
I hope so too. But if it's not, we can buy it in English. And it's great to have something about this theme here. And as a leader, how to promote psychological safety. I know that a role model could be very important. But sometimes we have a team that it's needing so much of this psychological theme. So I'm going to ask you, not just as a leader, but as a teammate also. So how can we, if we are in a company that we find that doesn't have such as an environment of trust and psychological safety, what do you recommend for the individual to do?
Start with where you are. Right? So start with your role, your job. Don't worry about trying to change everybody else. Just bring yourself forward. Ask good questions. Give your colleagues the gift of your full attention. I ask you a question. What are you up against? What are you trying to get done? Hey, what skills, what knowledge are you bringing to this situation? I'm now giving you the gift of my full attention, and I'm listening in response. That makes a world of difference. So wherever you are, if you just focus on what can you do to bring others' voice forward, there's always something you can do.
I love that, because this enables us to do something and not just expect the company or the organization, to have that perfect environment, and gives us freedom and also a responsibility to do something about it, right?
Yes, it is human nature to look up and to wait for someone else to fix it, or the boss has to fix it, or the CEO has to fix it. But the reality is you are more powerful than you think. There are things that you can do to just make a slightly better workplace right here, right now.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm so honored to have you here, and I know that you have to go. And here at these conferences, it's such a hurry. So thank you so much, and I hope we can take you to Brazil sometime. Please, to share your knowledge, your wisdom. Thank you so much.
I'd love that. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.